pretty much annually during the month of December, pop culture is flooded with what would be called the token holiday episodes of our favorite TV shows. Even sometimes movies come out in December with holiday themed storylines. Comic books, of course, are not immune to this either. We've seen holiday versions of comic book heroes who, more than often than not, have to take the role of Santa Claus and save the day for reasons. But what about toys? What about when toys get themed for holidays? This is Scott ToyGuru Neitlich. I've been in the toy industry for over 20 years. As a father, a professional toy maker, and a collector, I want to talk about toys for holidays, but not these toys. It's obvious why we have toys for children to play out holidays, because they want to have imagination-based play themed around their favorite time of the year, and they want to play. But what about people like you and me, the adult collector? Those of us who spend a lot of money recreating toys of our youth or buying new toys. But in this case, toys that are themed for the holidays. And there is no shortage of them. They come out every year now for the adult collector. We get action figures dressed as Santa Claus. We get characters with candy cane striped weapons and add-on hats and all sorts of things to remind us of the holiday season. And sometimes these are taken from content. Sometimes not so much, and creative license gets taken. So why does this happen? Why do companies produce action figures for collectors in holiday attire that doesn't really fit in with entertainment? So there's two types. Type 1 is when you're taking a figure and you're sort of just taking any character and putting that in holiday attire. And this could really work for anyone, any character at all. The second type is when you're making a holiday figure based off of actual holiday entertainment. These are sort of the two buckets that I would put holiday-based action figures in. You're dressing a character up or decoing that character for the holidays, or, like in this case with the Grinch Stole Christmas line from a few years back from the Mike Myers movie, you are making action figures from Christmas-based entertainment, or from when the characters dressed up, say, as Santa Claus in the actual entertainment. So, two different buckets here. Well, three if you actually count, action figures of Saint Nick or, holiday characters like this, which are a little bit more skewed to the adult collector versus those Fisher-Price Santa Claus figures I showed you for kids earlier. All right, so let's look at both buckets. The first bucket, the characters that are from entertainment that is holiday-based. Well, this doesn't have to be explained why the characters are wearing Santa outfits and, have all sorts of holiday extras with them. It's because that's what happened in the entertainment. So obviously, the characters are going to come with holiday-themed items like, a leg lamp, right? Everyone thinks of a leg lamp as soon as they think of Christmas. Well, they do if they think of the Christmas story. And it makes sense to have an action figure based on the Christmas story just as much as it does any other movie line that adult collectors are into. Or if you take something like Nightmare Before Christmas, a very heavily themed holiday movie. Well, a movie literally about holidays, mashing holidays together. So having a Santa Claus action figure in that line makes complete sense. Or in the Futurama line, also aimed at the adult collector, there are several episodes with the Santa Claus robot, and one episode where Bender, much like in those comic books where the lead character has to take over for Santa Claus, there you have Bender in his Santa Claus outfit. But again, this happened in the entertainment. So making an adult collector figure based on this is no different than making any adult collector figure based on any specific episode or specific scene from a movie, which we ask for all the time. Here's one that I worked on when I was at Mattel. This was the Ghostbusters wearing Santa hats. And again, this came from a very specific scene in the movie where they actually did wear Santa Claus hats. And logistically, it was pretty easy to do. We already had the base bucks. I think we had to create new Ghostbuster 2 belts for the characters, but we used soft goods to give them the hats, and that made it look just like they were in the movie. We were taking this movie scene and turning it into an action figure set, which happens all the time. It just happens that this scene has a holiday theme to it. And I was actually pretty clever that we split the production 50-50, where the back end of the production, the hats were packed at the bottom, so you didn't have that sitting on shelf for months and months on end with hats on and not, wouldn't sell outside of the holiday season. And when looking at holiday toys from this example, there really is no limit to the number of figures you're going to get in this bucket because, as I said in the beginning, we get every year, we get holiday episodes of movies or holiday episodes of TV shows, and having a representation of that particular episode, it was no different from having a representation from any other specific scene or specific episode. I can't talk today. Too much eggnog of a show, and it just brings that episode to life. The fact that it's holiday themed is almost really secondary to the fact that you're really just getting a scene specific figure, or a figure like in this case of Clark Griswold. He's dressed up as Santa Claus because it's from National Lampoon's Holiday Vacation, which was a holiday-themed movie. And if you're a fan of this movie and you want an action figure from it, there's really no way to avoid the holiday theme. Or, this is a really great final example in this bucket, the Jawas with presents and, holiday-themed training remote. While it might look like it's kind of, just throwing some kind of holiday cheer to Jawas, it actually is based on content, namely a vintage Ralph McQuarrie Christmas card done for Lucasfilm back in the day, which was actually, I think, pretty innovative to take these cards and turn them into action figure sets, because again, based on holiday content. Okay, but what about the second bucket? What about things like this? We have never seen something like this, if you will, in entertainment. All of these different characters, some Marvel characters, some DC characters, all dressed up together as Santa Claus. Or, this example here, this is, I think, a Yoda bobblehead. We have never seen Yoda dress up this way on screen or in comic books, Clone Wars animated, you name it. Yoda has never donned the outfit of Santa Claus. So this falls into that bucket of taking an existing character, a beloved character, whether it's Yoda or Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry that I'm using two Disney-owned characters at the moment, no coincidence, just happen to find them, and, putting holiday decor on them. And of course, for the adult collector, this opens a much broader sort of character base, because all sorts of characters that are beloved by adult collectors can be given holiday attire and sort of resold as holiday-themed sets. And yes, I know this one is maybe not the best example, since the characters, there were Christmas specials for The Simpsons, or, this He-Man figure. There was a He-Man and She-Ra holiday special, although he never had a sword that quite looked like this, and the box isn't really, promoting the holiday special. It's more, a holiday version of He-Man. So, yes, you have characters like the Three Stooges from an actual Three Stooge holiday episode sold as toys, but I guess you really got to look at a more dramatic example like this, much more like that Yoda. So here's, the holiday Darth Vader. Darth Vader never spray painted his outfit all red. I guess, maybe if you went to a Sith party or something, maybe it was required, but, he never looked like this on screen. And Hasbro has taken this to almost the extreme in 2020, offering a whole range of range trooper. That was kind of funny. Didn't even mean to do that. A whole smorgasbord of different Star Wars characters decked out in very bright holiday attire, and I guarantee they never looked like this on screen. So this is done purely for decoration. This is not commemorating an episode, commemorating an issue, a moment on screen. These are, for lack of a better word, just kind of wacky, fun holiday variants. You got a stormtrooper wearing an ugly holiday sweater. Or a clone trooper, excuse me. Had to wait to see the mask there. That's, pretty cool and zany if you ask me. Now, on the other side of the aisle, for people who don't celebrate Christmas in particular, myself, I am Jewish and celebrate Hanukkah, And, we get, of course, Dreidel, the spinning Hanukkah robot. Not too many stormtroopers dressed up in Hanukkah gear. In fact, not too many pop culture moments. We don't really get the holiday episodes that you get for Christmas. I mean, we have a couple characters that are Jewish in pop culture. Ben Grimm being one of my personal favorites. People know that Ben Grimm is Jewish. He's Jewish there. He's smashing the glass at his wedding. So yeah, there are absolutely non-Christian characters in pop culture, although I would say a little few and far between. And usually when a character is Hanukkahized, much like being Christmasized, it's something like this, where it's Mickey Mouse holding a menorah, or actually properly a Hanukkah. That's what they're called on Hanukkah. Or, a troll doll, again, just dressed up in Hanukkah fare, holding a, what is she holding? I don't know, it's like a pillow with a Star of David on it, with blue hair. Or the Wizard of Hanukkah? I don't even know who this Lego character is supposed to be, but it is like, he comes with Gelt, and he's supposed to be like a Hanukkah Lego character. And, of course, there's our version of Elf on a Shelf, which is a Mensch on a bench. So, hey, there's Hanukkah versions for everybody of all sorts of fun things. Kwanzaa is not something that is passed over on holiday attire either. There are actually quite a few holiday attire Kwanzaa-themed toys out there. For the most part, dolls, though. You don't really see action figures in the Kwanzaa or the Hanukkah category, but Kwanzaa does get its fair share of dolls. And, for different companies, too. I mean, even, big companies like Mattel have done Barbie here, decked out in Kwanzaa attire. So, all religions, all holidays, all faiths represented for holiday cheer and to remind us goodwill towards men and Wookiees and everyone else out there, to paraphrase Dickens. So the real question is, of course, I forgot about Futurama there, the one show that combined all three in one, with Kwanzaa bot, Santa Claus robot, and the Hanukkah zombie. So, yes, for those of us who want to have all three faiths come together, the one I could figure out was Futurama, which did make toy product for both Hanukkah zombie and for Kwanzaa bot. So, hey, representation, right? It's pretty awesome. I love this episode of Futurama. It's great when you get, holiday robots and holiday zombies. Okay, so why have these toys for adult collectors? Obviously, the holiday season is a time of decorating, and people like to decorate their house, their living room, their bedroom, everything, their car. I've seen reindeer antlers on cars, and it is very popular or possible to decorate with holiday-themed action figures. Perfect example is this display of characters from the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus, stop-motion movies from the 1960s that recently had some toy lines. Or, you could find utility with your action figures and turn a Batman action figure into a Hanukkah because, hey, why not? Everything is great. It's kosher, right? To have Batman holding candles. Or the Hanukkah zombies sort of a TIE fighter menorah. That's one of my personal favorites. I wish they would actually make a toy of this. I think this is a handmade personal craft. So as adult collectors, our big thing, what we do with our figures, the emotional connection, is we display them. And we enjoy looking at them. It brings us joy all year long to see our collection. It gives us a sense of accomplishment. Some people even take it a step further and create entire dioramas to look at, to make a scene come alive and, again, feel proud of what they have. It's a pride thing. So when you have figures like this that are not from a scene, they're just decorated for the holidays, or like the Spawn toy, this kind of evil looking, holiday monster, for lack of a better word. I'm not calling Spawn a monster, but he's kind of like an undead zombie, if you will. So when these toys exist and adult collectors our emotional connection is display, what is the rationale for these? Why decorate characters in holiday-themed colors when they never appeared like this in the entertainment? And I think the answer is nostalgia. So the holidays are a time that we remember getting presents, getting toys, feeling happy. And that's kind of what toys are all about. All year long, they remind us of being a kid. Buying adult collector action figures is very empowering because we can now buy the toys that, for example, we may not have been able to get as a child. We may have only gotten, one or two figures, 10, 20 out of, the 92, to look at Star Wars as an example. But as an adult collector, you can buy every single one. You are an adult. You control your wallet. You control your bank account. And if you choose to spend your money on toys, that's very, very empowering, especially because as a child, you were basically limited to what you got on the holidays or on your birthday or for getting good grades in school or whatever other reason, mom or dad would buy you toys, or grandma, grandpa, gift givers, whomever it was. So the holidays are really one of those 2 times a year, other than your birthday, where you're kind of guaranteed toys as a kid, if you will. And that moment is ingrained in our mind, so we associate the holidays with getting toys. And as an adult collector, whether consciously or subconsciously, we want to celebrate that moment, because all of adult collecting is about returning to our youth when times were simpler and we didn't have mortgages and families and all the complications of being an adult. Not that I don't love my family and my mortgage. So why do they make holiday-themed toys? I think because it ties directly into this nostalgia for this time of year, which we associate so strongly with toys, as one of the 2 times a year we knew toys were coming, and the excitement of getting those toys. After all, the holidays are about celebrating with friends, and let's face it, as adult collectors, our action figures kind of are a set of friends. They bring us comfort, they bring us joy, and why not spread a little of that joy with them as well by putting a holiday-themed figure on the shelf, if not all year, at least during this time of year. So even our action figures get to have goodwill towards all droids. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, leave them below and I will answer. A subscription and a like is appreciated because that tells YouTube you like this and they'll share it with more. Happy holidays, everyone.